Hello again everyone, so here we are back with a new video. So today I wanted to show you my 1988 British Telecom Minstrel. This is in the ivory colour. I got this new in box, or supposedly new in box. Here's the original box. It has all the original packaging and the phone was packed as it would have been when it was packed at the factory. But you know, of course, it's years and years old. It's from the 80s, so I'm only going off what the sellers told me. It looked new, but it's nice that it has the box anyway. So as I said, it has all the original packaging inside. But there you can see it says British Telecom Minstrel. There's a nice picture of it on the box there. So it has 13 number memory. There's the other side. And as you can see, you can wall mount it. Although it doesn't make the best wall mounted phone. On these original Minstrels, this is the Mark 1 version, it had a problem with the hook switch. When used as a wall phone, it could easily come off hook due to a poor designed cradle rest. So they redesigned it with the Minstrel Plus, which came out later, which I do have one, but it's in a sorry state. Anyway, here's some features it lists on the box. Compact design, 13 number memory, easy to wall mount, last number redial, and touch tone compatible. It says batteries not included. You need the batteries for the memory storage. And there it advertises the newish, at the time, BT socket. So I think that's all sides of the box covered. It talks about the BT approvals thing there, which was big in the 80s. Made in Taiwan. And there's the specs of the phone. As you can see, it's Tele 5011AR. It's in the ivory colour. So I imagine this phone would have probably sold for about 30, maybe £40, brand new at the time. I think it was sold in Argos. But any of you that are familiar with this phone, this telephone was the phone that Hyacinth had in the UK sitcom Keeping Up Appearances, the snobbish bucket woman, or bouquet, as she likes to be called. And I do have a another version of this phone. It's identical to this, but it's in the coral colour. But this would have been the colour that Hyacinth had, so I'm very pleased that I've got this one, especially boxed. So let's have a look at it. So here's the handset. It's based on the American Western Electric trimline phone, although this has a lot more features than a trimline would have had. Maybe not at this time. I think trimlines probably would have had some of these features at that time. Anyway, so here's the original BT Minstrel. We have British Telecom branding there. We have P1, P2 and P3. Those are one-touch number memory storage facilities. We have the keypad here, goes 1 through 0. And of course you have star and hash, because this is also a touch tone phone, but it can also output in pulse. And here's the selector for the different settings. So we have LD, which means loop disconnect or pulse dialing. We have multi-frequency timed recall and multi-frequency earth recall. So I've got this set on tone at the moment. Anyway, as you can hear, the buttons have a nice sound to them. Quite smooth to press, don't sound cheap like they would on today's phones. So here you can see we have MEM, which stands for memory, we have store and redial. Of course, redial for Hyacinth's phone. I don't know why she never made a big deal about it having the 13 number memory storage functions, but there we go. So we have the receiver there, we have the transmitter, and of course the recall button there. So let's just imagine that this phone has numbers stored in its memory. So you have these buttons here at the top, these three, which are just one touch, so you press them and your stored number will dial out. For any additional numbers you can store on the keypad here. So you'd press memory and then whichever number you've stored your telephone numbers under. So you have 3 here and of course 10 on the keypad, that makes 13. So anyway, there we go, that's the handset. It's got a nice flexible handset cord. Here's the base unit. We have the hook switch there, There's only one hook switch on this phone, there isn't one on the handset. And I have programmed the speed dials on this phone. But underneath here are two AAA batteries that you need to install to program stored numbers. So obviously I've covered up my number there. And of course, if any of you are wondering, I did not write on the original number card, I photocopied that. So if you're all screaming thinking, oh my god, no, I did photocopy that. Yes, it's a very nice design. This piece here is the handset rest, so you have it in this position to have it as a desk phone like this. So it just nicely sits on the cradle. If you were to use it as a wall phone, you'd pull up on this clip here, turn it round, and it would stick up, which would allow the handset to be held in a vertical position. But because of the shape of it, it could easily come off hook, because this hook switch is quite, it has quite a lot of resistance to it compared to what most phones would have. So on the later Minstrel, the Minstrel Plus, they put like a cutout here and a built-in notch. You still had to turn it round, but it meant that the handset really hooked in place rather than just sitting on a large and protrusion here. But anyway, here we have the line card, so there's the original tag on it, and there's the BT431A plug. It's almost like a transparent sort of design on there. So of course it's modular, so we have the RJ11 and RJ10 ports for those cards there. And here we have the ringer adjustment. You can see it says off and loud. We'll turn it all the way to minimum, and then you can click it for off. And then of course turn it back on all the way up to loud. Here are the wall mounting storage pins there. That's where the sound from the ringer comes out. Interestingly, we have 3 rubber feet, which are in very good condition, so it does appear that this phone hasn't been used, as stated. And it just has a notch on that one, which is unusual, but anyway. And of course we have the cutouts there for where the cord can either come out this end or channel down to the bottom end if you're using it on a wall. So I'll just sort of, hopefully I can show you the ratings here. So it says made in Taiwan for British Telecom, Tele 5011AR, has a 1 Ren value ringer, and there's some other specs there. Here's the serial number, you can see there 88, so that was when it was produced, 1988. And I think this phone came out about that time. The original Minstrel, which of course is this model, lasted from about 88 till 1991, I think. And then the Minstrel Plus came out, and then it was replaced by the Duet series, which was from about 94. And Hyacinth had one of those as well, so if you're a hardcore fan like I am, then you'll know all these geeky little things. But anyway, there's the Minstrel, so I'll get it plugged in here and we'll have some demos of it. Alright, so I have the Minstrel plugged in now, so let's begin the demonstrations. And as usual, I'll start with an outgoing call. So here goes. So there we go, dialing tone can be heard.
Hello, thanks for calling BT. In a few words, please tell us how we can help you today.
It's about my telephone bill.
Thank you. For your balance or next bill date, press 1. For card payments or direct debits, choose 2. For more time to pay, if you're calling from the number you want to talk about, press 1. Otherwise, press 2. Please enter the BT number you'd like to talk about.
Okay, so you can see that all that's working fine. So, I'll just show you last number redial. Let's dial tone again.
Hello. Thanks for calling BT.
So there we can see that all that's working. So just before we move on, I'll set this to LD, or loop disconnect / pulse. I'll have to hang up again for this, I think. So it resets the circuitry. And now it should transmit electronic pulses down the line when I key these numbers in. So there we go, you can see that's working. We'll set that back to tone. And I think I'll just quickly talk about the memory storage. So, as I showed you, I have some numbers programmed in here. So if we press any one of these three here, it will dial that number you've stored straight away just by pressing that one button. So there's dial tone. So as you can hear, that was dialing through. I didn't let you hear it all in case some of you want to try and decode the tones. Anyway, so that's one touch facility. So we have two touch facility, so that's numbers stored on the keypad. So to do that we press memory and then the number that we have stored our desired telephone number under. Dial tone, memory store, 0. And I waited too long there because I was talking. Try again. Dial tone, memory store, 0.
Hello, and thank you for calling Morrison's Denton. To hear our store opening hours, please press 1. Our store opening hours are Monday to Thursday.
So there we go, we can see that all that's fully functional, and that was quite convenient for its time. That was, you know, those were features that people look for in a telephone. So if you're curious on how we store these numbers on this phone, you would press store, key your number in, and then press the desired location, so either these three here or any of the keypad numbers here, and that's how we store our 13 number memory. Okay, so I think without further ado we'll ring this phone now, and you'll be able to hear the ringer. Now if any of you are familiar with Keeping Up Appearances, I'm sure you'll recognise this ring. So without further ado, here we go. You can soften it as well. Or turn it off altogether. And back on loud. Okay, so we've answered the phone now. So I'm just going to get my iPhone and mute it and put it on speaker. And you can hear already it's picking my voice up. And that's because these phones would be fitted with a very sensitive electronic microphone, so it gives modern speech quality. So here we go. I'm now transmitting into the handset. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As you can hear, the audio from this telephone is excellent. Very good. Okay, so there we go. I think that just about wraps up my overview and demo on this almost iconic but slightly generic British Telecom Minstrel 5011AR in the lovely ivory colour, or as Hyacinth Bouquet called it, pearl white. So anyway, thanks very much for watching. If you liked, then please give me a thumbs up. Comment below if you have any questions, and please subscribe and click the bell icon so you'll be notified when I upload a new video. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care.